Story. Thanks. Now to the impending release of the Pentagon's study on Don't Ask, Don't Tell. It reportedly reveals that a clear majority of military personnel don't care whether gays are allowed to serve openly in the military.
This comes just days before a Senate vote on a defense bill that would end that policy. Democratic Congressman Joe Sestak is a member of the Armed Services Committee and a retired three-star admiral. He's been the leading advocate for repealing Don't Ask, Don't Tell, and he joins us this morning. Congressman, it's good to have you with us. I wonder if you've seen and gotten any kind of preview of this study and whether you think it will end the objections in some quarters that the military will be negatively affected by gay members openly serving.
I haven't seen the report yet. We're actually getting briefed on it on its entirety at 11 o'clock this morning. But I do think it is going to take a significant step towards removing the doubt that some have, and I respect their opinion, but the doubt that they have that this would not affect military cohesion. I think people have to remember that when you go on an aircraft carrier, for example, 5,000 sailors, like in the carrier battle group I commanded off Afghanistan, those 5,000 sailors' average age is 19 and a half. They don't care. And this review, as well as a Pew poll recently among youth, shows they don't care. They really do grow up thinking and knowing everyone's equal. I think if we begin to have the leadership of the military lagging behind the troops, that's when they lose credibility. So I think this will help us in that debate.
Congressman, are there any rules in the military that need to change that affect, for instance, at all? I mean, you hear some advocates of keeping Don't Ask, Don't Tell in place saying, well, look, if you repeal it, you know, you're going to have to deal with all sorts of issues that they already had to deal with when more women entered the military. Are there any rules that are going to have to change in the Army or the Marines in particular?
I can't think of any that really would be of any import at all. You know, you're not allowed to have a relationship with anyone in your unit as it is, and this would be no difference.
The Congressman is there. Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I was just curious if there, sorry, we're trying to dance here. I just was curious if there's any cost associated with repealing the ban. In other words, if you allow gay members to openly serve, does that automatically mean their partners will get federal benefits?
This is going to be what part of this study is going to be, because right now, you know, we have certain prohibitions against that in the federal government or in companies. And I think this study, and I don't know what the result is going to be, is going to look at that. Do I think that partners, legitimate partners, should? Yes, I do. I think that's the same across America. And it's why I think the Defense of Marriage Act should be repealed. That said, there's something else special in our military. We pride ourselves on our integrity. And we're not perfect. I got that. But it's like the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff said, you're asking in this institution for sailors to live a lie. And then there's one last thing. I can't tell you when a number of times what occurred to me is the sailor would come up and start to say, hey, Captain, I want you to know that I am, and all that would go through my mind is, please don't tell me you're gay. I don't want to lose you. These kids, we want the best of the best. When I put my carrier battle group off Afghanistan, and one of my 8 pilots that first time was a woman pilot, and she was the one that saved 4 special forces. That might not have happened if we didn't have the best of all demographics. That's a real reason why we also want to keep these troops.
Very quickly, Congressman, what does this do for the issue of women in combat? Because we tear down the Don't Ask, Don't Tell barrier, do we tear down that barrier as well?
Well, we do have women in almost all, many combat positions. I think the rough estimate is about 80. We don't have them in all of like special forces and all. But we're moving into those areas. For example, now women will be on submarines as the Navy has moved. I think this is just going to help enhance that movement towards women. If they can do the standards that are required for the job, are going to be able to move into additional ones. Again. You know, and we got to remember, it is a woman's nation now. More women are employed for the first time in America's history than men. I think we need to look at this as a whole, how to better approach this issue.
Well, Congressman Joe Sestak, you bring a unique perspective to this issue. Good to have you. Thanks.
Have a great day.
Trivia time. What member of Congress won 2 NCAA